Hello again.
Hi, welcome to the conversation. Today is September 26th, and we're going to discuss what time off is for.
hmm
Seneca says, leisure without study is death, a tomb for the living person.
hmm Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, well, and yeah, it's boredom essentially, right?
What do you mean?
Like, if you don't have study in
Mhm.
leisure, you're bored.
Well, no, because you could have pleasure. So I think they're saying
Yes.
you have to use your leisure time to study
hmm
rather than frittering it away playing video games or like doing just like whatever it is that you want to do that's, going into hot tubs
Mm.
and going on vacations and whatnot.
But yeah, but see, I see that as like that is totally fine to do everything that you said, including video games, including all that stuff. I say that's totally fine to do in leisure, as long as you also,
Yeah, and that's what I'm reading too. I didn't mean to say that like you can't go to a hot tub. I meant that like in order to spend your leisure time well, there also must be a component of study to it.
right, and to that I was saying, if you don't have that study to it, it becomes boredom. You
Hmm.
play video games, but you're not doing anything else in your mind, like, hey, like, like, that's just boring, right? It becomes boring. You can do it for some time, but it becomes boring. Like, if
Yeah.
going on vacation and you're not having experiences there where they make you think about how you're currently running your life when you're not on vacation, in the routines, right? Those experiences you're constantly thinking about, like, oh, this is cool, right? If you're not doing it, well, then it's boredom, just sitting there like, okay, I'm on the boat, just sun, okay, I'm not trying to think about or improve something or test myself in some way, so anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I can see that. Okay, cool. What is Ryan got for us?
Ryan says, you deserve a vacation. You work hard. You sacrifice. You push yourself. It's time for a break. Hop a plane, check into your hotel, and head to the beach. But tuck a book under your arm and not a trashy beach read. Make sure you enjoy your relaxation like a poet, not idly, but actively, observing the world around you, taking it all in, better understanding your place in the universe. Take a day off from work every now and then, but not a day off from learning.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your goal is to make enough money so that you can retire early. Good for you. But the purpose of retirement is not to live a life of indolence. I never knew how to pronounce this word. Indolence, or to run out the clock, as easy as that might be to do. Rather, it's to allow for the pursuit of your real calling now that a big distraction is out of the way. To sit around all day and do nothing, to watch endless amounts of television or simply travel from place to place so that you might cross locations off a checklist, that is not life. It's not freedom either.
That's funny because, yeah, like, I mean, I just was silly with the boredom, right? But, like, yeah, it's boredom. Like, that's what it is. It's not this or it's not that. Yeah, it just becomes kind of waste of an opportunity to use the front lobe for something good. Yeah, continuous improvement. That should be like just the background of everyone's experience. I hope it's mine. I think it is, but hopefully I'm always trying to learn from all experiences. That's at least my goal, right? Yeah, of course nobody's perfect, but
Well, and I don't hear him saying like you have to do this all the time. He's just saying like, yeah, like how.
But you can. All I'm saying is like, yeah, I'm trying to do it all the time, not even
Yeah.
on vacations, but even like this is why I never read any fiction, because I'm like I don't know what I would learn from fiction, because I would say anything I learn from fiction would be a fiction, right? Because like even the example of like, oh, life could be like this is fiction, and therefore maybe life cannot be like that. Therefore I cannot take you seriously. Therefore, why am I wasting my time with fiction? I rather do nonfiction. And now I'm like, oh, someone did a research. This is actually based on something. Sure, it could also not be true and not valid, but it's a lot closer to some sort of a learning kind of like, yeah, it just fits better. It's like a better glove for me or something, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see fiction in the same way. Like, I see a ton of value in fiction. It's just that my nonfiction list is so full and takes priority that I just never find myself in a fiction book because there's just so much nonfiction to get through.
Right.
And I will put myself through the agony of reading a poorly written, hard to understand nonfiction book than like a page turner, super just like gooey, flowy fiction read. I will put myself through the agony of the nonfiction because I want that subject matter out of it.
Yeah. You want the data out, right? And I'm not saying that fiction doesn't have something to teach us. No, of course it does. But like after reading a 300-page book, what it teaches me is something that it's kind of like a soft good or something. It's not like we're like, hey, a relationship could be like this too, right? But it could be. Well, we don't know because it's made up. So, but maybe it could be. So, there is a possibility like that out there somewhere in somebody's mind. Okay, great. So there's something that I can take from that. I get it. But it's like, if you weigh it like this, what you're saying, I'm like, this nonfiction is like, it feels like there's a lot of value there. So anyway, okay, good stuff. Anything else on your end?
No, this one is like pretty straightforward and feels like it's pretty baked in already.
Yeah.
Like, I think I have the opposite problem where I have a hard time turning my learning faucet off. And especially in a world where there's so much content everywhere, it can feel like I'm not doing enough, I'm not learning enough. Like there can create the opposite problem of like almost the dependency
like a
on
lack
learning.
Of, like, yeah, I'm not doing enough.
And that's
like,
actually what I need to work. That's my bigger.
And
my
problem.
bigger.
I have this hour of resting or enjoyment of some sort. But now I'm gonna feel guilty because now I'm not learning anything. But like, no, this is maybe they're talking about more of like, because you're gonna need a break from even learning, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, the work that I need to do is to turn my learning faucet off and to say, actually, no, right now is a time for me to just enjoy this. But the way that Ryan was talking about it was like even contemplation is part of this, like contemplating my place in the universe. So I think there's like it sounds like there's different forms that it can take, and it doesn't all need to be so active. Like, I'm taking in new information right now. It can also be synthesizing the information that I've already taken in and spending time with that.
Yeah. Active, like doing something actively with what's what's not making sense in there or something, like being involved in that or something. Yeah, good one. Perfect. Till the next time.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you here tomorrow.
Bye-bye.